Hi, folks. It is Mark Smith with Family Tree Brand Life Coaches. It has been a little while since I have made a video other than our every other week live stream. As many of you know, I wait for inspiration to beckon. And sometimes I think God just puts people on the bench and allows them to self-care. And so I've been just doing some of my own work. And inspiration hasn't come calling at my door, but it did today. So the title of this video is Unrelenting Resilience in Complex PTSD Recovery. My wife Renda and I are back at the beach, and we were at the beach today, and that's where the inspiration found me. It was raining. The water was all wavy and dark. And there were 4 or 5 boats just right out on top of us. They're boats that what they do is they scoop up sand and funnel it back to the beach to replenish the sand on the beach. And it started to sprinkle, and we had just had a nice seafood dinner, and we were ready for beach time, and it was raining, and I just enjoyed. It wasn't cold. I just had a fantastic time just laying there in the rain, watching the boats and watching the waves. Cleared out everybody else on the beach. I even made a Facebook video of it and shared it. It's pretty cool look, really dark clouds. But the point is that rather this old cliche, this old saying, brilliant saying, life isn't about avoiding the storms, it's about learning how to dance in the rain. And Renda and I jumped up and ran out and swam in the waves. We weren't swimming, we were more being tossed hither and fro than swimming. I wouldn't call it swimming. It was sort of being tossed around, really, is what was going on. But it was fun. So, complex PTSD is a brutal, vicious, unrelenting, so painful that you can't put into words, long-term condition. And it's a marathon. You can't wait until there are no more storms. You're going to have to learn to dance in the rain. I believe that complex PTSD is a lifelong condition. I believe that you can and you will occasionally have a relapse. Nobody is perfect at taking care of themselves. And if you have a really intense case of complex PTSD, if you don't live a very regimented, disciplined life to where you're working on your recovery with intensity every day, then you're probably going to have a relapse, and some of the symptoms are going to come back. So people that say that they're 100% healed from PTSD and they're blissing and you can have a healthy relationship. But by the way, people that say that you can have a healthy relationship with bliss and you grew up being raised by a psychopath, that is not true. I hate to tell you, you're going to struggle the rest of your life in adult relationships. You may not like to hear that, but It is the truth. Hello? You can't be raised by Charles Manson and grow up and have a fucking fairy tale. I'm sorry. This gets me a little stoked up because there's a lot being said out there and peddled about your potential as a recovering person. I tell people the goal is to have more windows of heaven than windows of hell, but you're going to have a hell of a lot of windows of hell for some time. It'll get better and better over time. For me, it's been over 4 years, and I get better, but then I occasionally relapse because as soon as you get to feeling better, you stop feeling your pain and you stop the focus on your daily work, and bad stuff can happen. But the purpose of this video, unrelenting resilience in your complex PTSD recovery, is so that you don't give up hope. So what are some areas? Here's 15 areas that were impacted for me, but there could be 100 other areas that are impacted, and everybody's different. But in a recent relapse in self-care, here's some of the PTSD symptomology that came back to me. This was about 2 months ago. And the first one is really, 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 really low energy level. It's hard to be courageous. It's hard to do what you need to do if your energy level is non-existent. High levels of anxiety, a sense of dread that the other shoe is going to drop and really bad shit's going to happen. Another area is when your energy level is low, sometimes you don't do the extra stuff that helps you make a living. So it can impact your finances negatively. When people see you walking around without your swagger and with a lot of brokenness, it can impact their confidence in you. It certainly will impact your confidence in yourself. It'll impact your ability to trust people. It could impact your appetite. 2 months ago, I was down about 25 pounds. So I just didn't feel good, and I just wasn't interested in food. And the healthier I've got, I've resurrected my interest in food too much. So it'll make you feel hopeless. You might have suicidal thoughts. Was talking with someone and they said, if you don't have children, if you don't have a marriage, if you don't have a business, if you don't have a mission, you may not have a reason for living, so you're more at risk for suicide. And that's true. But if you have a relapse in your recovery process and your resilience takes a hit, even if you have all kinds of things to live for, wonderful things, if you have no energy and you're buried in shame and you have no hope, you're at risk for suicidal thoughts. It'll interfere with your ability to have joy. You'll lose interest in your hobbies. You'll tend to isolate. If you have low energy, at every point you're going to isolate. It will impact your sleep patterns. If your energy level is real low, you'll nap a lot, you'll sleep a lot. It will interfere with your ability to practice your self-care. So those are 15 areas that really impacted me. But the cool thing is that God in the universe brings you people and brings you information that can help you. And I met a woman, I still can't say her name right. Her first name is spelled Zephyr, and I want to call her Zephyr, but I I think it's Sophia. I'll confirm that. We're doing a Zoom video together on Monday about my work with her. She's a health consultant. But here's my message to you about your resilience is do whatever works. Now there's some caveats. It needs to be legal, and it needs to not be an addiction. But anything else that works, do it. Triple up on your recovery work. Dig into your personal therapy and use unconventional methods. My work with Sophia, her last name is, I believe it's Jalai, Jali. She taught me that the body is basically an electrical system, and there are ways to energize your body. So simple things like soaking in Epsom salts with my feet or in a bath, which is basically soaking in magnesium, and putting something called fulvic, FULVIC minerals in with some juice and drinking lots of it. Among other things, I would say that my energy level today versus 2 months ago is about 200 times bigger, more so. Off the chart. I have more energy now than I know what to do with. And basically what I've been doing, I've been taking niacin, 3,000 milligrams as sort of a nature's antidepressant. I've been drinking some special tea that's very calming. I've been using CBD oil. I've been moving more physically, all at Zophia's direction. And what it has done for me is has just recharged my whole body. So the hopelessness and the darkness that I was feeling wasn't even really about my life. It was about my body. It's sort of like, you know, how your phone, when there's only like 5% power, it has a little red sign. And, you know, if you don't plug it in real quick, it's going to go out. Well, many of us with complex PTSD walk around with empty batteries without no electrical charge. And what Sophia has helped me to do is to recharge my body. And I feel now like a phone that's like 80% charged instead of one that was 5% charged. But whatever unconventional methods you need to use, do it. Triple up on your recovery work. If you need to do more yoga, do more yoga. Sophia taught me a meditation that resonated with my body and gave me energy. Whatever unconventional method works for you, do it. Stay with a regular exercise program. Give yourself permission to rest if you need it and nap. Be authentic and talk it over with people. I had another sort of dip in my energy level around the holidays, and I was really suffering, and I hadn't talked with anybody, and I went to a movie with my son and his wife, and I dropped him off, but I just wanted to connect. So I drove half a block, and then I texted him back, said, dude, can you come back out? And I was authentic. He's not in recovery, but he loves his old dad. And I just talked about sadness and pain and what I was struggling with it. And he talked with me, and he cried together and said, "I love you," and hugged, and it was really cool. Another thing I highly recommend is you pray. Pray. I personally don't know how anybody could not believe in God. I was just floating and getting tossed about in the vast ocean. And when I'm around the ocean, I sense the presence of God. You know, even if you don't believe in God, there are no atheists in foxholes. So go to praying anyway. I was praying, help me, help me, help me, help me. And the help that I needed came in terms of Sophia and her direction. You're going to like her. You know, she talks with an Australian accent because she's from Australia. And there's like birds tweeting in the back. They don't tweet, they sound like exotic birds. And she's just filled with wisdom about how to go about healing your body and healing your PTSD without just doing talk therapy. You're going to have a great deal of determination. Sometimes it's just about putting one foot in front of another foot and just continuing to do the best you can. You might need to take some time off for work. I was blessed while I was sort of rebuilding my energy level to be here at the beach, and I was only seeing maybe 7 hours of clients 2 days a week, and it just gave me time to recuperate and recharge. So it helps me to listen to books off my phone with my Bluetooth about a variety of recovery subjects, and of course, watching YouTube videos. So, folks out there who don't have hope and don't have energy and don't have money, the human system, the human body, the human spirit is naturally highly resilient. Complex PTSD, Peter Levine, who I think is the world's greatest expert on treating PTSD. The world's greatest experts on PTSD are not the Spartan Life Coach or Sam Acton. Trust me, they know a lot about narcissism, but if you want to learn about treating PTSD, you need to learn about Peter Levine, Levine. Brilliant. He's so far better than anybody else in treating PTSD. It's ridiculous. It's astounding. But I love listening to his books and learning from him. So I would recommend that you would check out Peter Levine for those of you who haven't learned about him. But he says that PTSD is just your body responding, and the energy of the trauma gets caught in your body. He studies wild animals, you know, the predators and the prey, and he studies ways of healing the body. One of his most powerful videos is he starts with a veteran who saw two of his friends get blown up, and he, you know, had some damage to his body, and he was having a difficult time talking correctly, and using more Eastern methods and tones and mantras, if you will, Peter Levine was able to do miraculous work. Look up Peter Levine, an injured soldier or PTSD soldier, and watch it. It'll blow your mind. But your body's resilient. Psychologically, you're resilient. Never give up. You have one life. I believe you only have one life. Don't let the narcissist who harmed you win. Don't take your life away from your loved ones. Don't take your every day that's a gift that's in front of you away from yourself. Trust me when I tell you that if you keep working on yourself and on your recovery, and you are unrelenting and your natural resilience kicks in, your energy level will go up, and you will start to thrive. All of those areas, those 15 areas that I mentioned, my anxiety level is really low. I don't have a sense of dread. My finances are way better. I think people have more. I think people will have confidence in you if you have confidence in yourself. I'm better able to trust people, but I do recognize narcissists when I see them. I got to work on my appetite being too fixed. I have a great deal of hope. I have no suicidal thoughts. I have a great deal of joy. I have a great deal of interest in my hobbies. I'm not isolating. I'm not sleeping too much. I'm probably not sleeping enough. And I have been working on my self-care much more. And if you plant a seed, I have a client who's a farmer, and he plants beans and corn, and he puts it in the ground in the spring, and then come fall, what's he get? He gets beans and corn. And if you practice self-care, if you meditate, if you do yoga, do exercise, if you do therapy, if you watch Peter Levine videos, if you pray, if you do 12-step work, you guys know the drill. The thing is, most of you know what to do. It's just making time to do it. So please join us. I'll probably post that video with Sophia probably on Wednesday. And it'll be about an hour long, and it'll talk about these unconventional methods. But conventional methods work well also. So I am blessed. I am energized. I'm filled with hope, and I am thankful for all y'all's support out there and your kind words. I'm thankful that Mother Nature gave us this unrelenting resilience, and the old saying, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Then we are powerhouses. We are strong. We are mighty, because it didn't kill us, and it did make us stronger, and it made us better people. Thank you for watching. Please visit our website. Our website has been giving a real rebuild, and we're adding all 300 of our articles, and it looks a lot nicer. Anybody out there that feels inspired to give us a Google review, just look up Family Tree Counseling Google review. If you feel inspired to give us a Google review, we would really appreciate it. We're trying to reestablish ourselves in the Indianapolis market in marriage counseling. I've been so busy focused on YouTube and on my recovery, I've sort of let that slip, and Family Tree needs a little jolt to keep moving forward into the future. So take good care of yourselves. You're going to make it. Recovery works. Join us every other Tuesday night. This coming Tuesday night, I'm going to be doing the show, I believe, by myself. Haven't come up with a topic yet, but I will be sharing a topic. And it's a community where you can join and you can message in and talk with the other people. You can message in and talk to me. You can ask me questions. So thank you for watching. The wife and I are going to Outback. God bless, and y'all take really good care of yourself.